Today I wanted to talk about a subject that I briefly mentioned, not in my last video, but in the one before that, which is where I showed you guys my console collection, went over my personal story, built more, because I wanted to build more of a personal Look, I don't know what it is. In real life, I'm a perfectly normal person that doesn't stutter at all, but every time I hit that record button, I just start stuttering. Like I forget how to speak. I don't know why, okay? But I wanted to talk about something I mentioned in that video, which was specifically my Nintendo Wii and how jailbreaking it / hacking it really changed my life. And I know that sounds ridiculous and it sounds like clickbait, but it's true. And also I'm gonna definitely take this video as another opportunity to build more of a personal connection with my subscribers as well. Same thing I did with that other video where I mentioned it. So bear with me if I do get a little personal in this video, but this isn't going to be anything of a tutorial or any of that. This is really just going to be kind of like a story thing. I know you guys want to see more of that. Oh, this motherfucker, I swear I'm gonna... Hey! Okay, so I just caught this guy. Hey, come here. I just caught this guy trying to run out of my room with my Yoshi bag. Like, come on, bro. But anyways, let me take you back. So around the time of 2006, this is when I had gotten my first Wii. And like I said, this is around the time when my mom was still alive, when she did end up passing away. For me, I have 3 other siblings, but for some reason, I was the one who ended up with all of the gaming stuff. I know my brother and my sister ended up with some of the games, but I'm the one who ended up with all the consoles. So I ended up keeping the Wii. Like I said, the Wii in it of itself, without jailbreaking or modding, it's something so bizarre to me, because you take any Nintendo game, and I know I already said this in the other video, but you take any Nintendo game, the nostalgia hits different with any Nintendo game. The nostalgia is crazy, off the charts, you know, the vibe that those games give are different, especially when you're a kid. You know, those Nintendo games are geared towards kids, so games tend to be more brighter, vibrant, colorful, things like that. You know, the music in it of itself for most games really takes me back. I remember back then when I had that Wii, I was playing the new Super Mario Bros. Game, and I believe we had Super Smash Bros. As well. And after my mom ended up passing and I, you know, had brought it over here, this was around the time when I believe my dad actually was released from prisons, because I wasn't with my dad throughout those first 13 years of living, of being alive and existing. And then so after my mom had passed, I'm over here with my grandma, and then once my dad gets out, I remember I tried to actually mod my Wii. And obviously, look, okay, Nintendo, you can't come and arrest me for this. Okay, Nintendo, you cannot come and arrest me for this, because there's a thing called statute of limitation, and it's been more than 5 years. Wait, yeah, it's been more than 5 years, so you can't arrest me for this. But obviously, I jailbroke my Wii because I wanted to get free games. The free game that I wanted was Super Smash Bros. Why? Because I'm pretty sure one of my siblings had taken that disc, and I didn't end up keeping it. So I was like, I want to get free games on my Wii. Obviously, that's why most people do it. Keep in mind, you know, the Wii is one of the easiest consoles to jailbreak or exploit, alongside with the 3DS. You don't have to take it apart. You don't have to do any of that. You literally just do some stuff to it. You know, you need a computer, and you need an SD card and things like that, a USB. And I remember in middle school, I was probably in 7th grade, and I was trying so hard to jailbreak this. This might have been 6th grade. I was trying so hard to jailbreak it, and I just could not do it. And after trying, I eventually gave up. And then I remember the following year, I tried to jailbreak it again, and this time I was successful. And I was able to get games like Super Smash Bros. And I remember I got Lego Batman. Like, looking back on it, I remember I was using USB loader. I remember Mario Party 9. Mario Party 9 was a big one too that I remember. Animal Crossing 2, of course. And then I remember my brother had came over, we were playing Mario Party 9 and other games like that. And at this time, you know, I'm so young, I don't know really how to articulate myself. I don't know how to put my thoughts into words that well. But now that I'm much older and looking back on it in retrospect, I don't know why I always had a thing. Look, I'm not a criminal, but I always had a thing to, like, in video games, I always wanted to cheat. I don't know why. So it's like, every time I'd look at a console, I'd want to exploit it somehow. And I know jailbreaking that Wii really proved to me that it was possible. I remember that led to me, I think I was heading into my junior year of high school. I remember I had purchased a 3DS, a new 3DS XL from the Santa Fe Springs swap meet. I got it for like $100. Good deal. The prices are insane now. And I had jailbroken that as well. I already knew how to use a laptop, you know, at a young age. But now you're really getting into like very technical and tedious things that are kind of hard to do, especially since they're not technically meant to be possible, like a Wii exploit. A Wii is not supposed to be able to run game backups, you know, originally. Did that was cool. I ended up, and this was the biggest breakthrough in my career, I guess you could say, because obviously I'm trying to turn this into a career with my new store that I'm going to be opening. By the way, the store's not open yet, website's not up yet, but I am taking orders on Discord, so DM me on Instagram if you want to invite to that Discord. I do console repairs and mods. Shameless plug, okay? At least it's not a sponsor to some random, I don't know, what's his name? Damn it, Jeff. At least I don't have a sponsor from a freaking, look, I'm not even gonna say what the sponsor was, but you guys know what I'm talking about. It's the PS5 video. But hey, shout out to him. I know he made a grip from that sponsor for sure. And eventually this led to me jailbreaking my 360, and this is on a whole nother level. My 360 was something I always try to jailbreak, but I never understood how. Somewhere when I was a freshman in high school, or maybe a sophomore in high school, I tried to jailbreak it. This was literally all because I wanted to build a lowrider on Midnight Club Los Angeles, and I never had the game. And the game looked so good and so fun to me that I wanted it so bad. And when I found out they had songs from Dub C in the game and Ice Cube, I was like, this game, I just want this game even more. So trying to jailbreak 360 didn't work. Came back to it a couple years later. That we're talking about 2020 now. And I remember once I had successfully jailbroken my 360, did all the soldering. I'm gonna put up a screenshot too, because the soldering was so bad, dude. Luckily it was for the JRunner chip that you connect to the computer, and then after that you just take it off. It wasn't for the mod chip. I'm not like, no bullshit, guys. I literally did it with no flux. I think it's called flux or resin, or whatever you squirt onto your whatever you squirt onto your motherboard to, like, before you start soldering. I did it without it. That's how bad I was at this. That's how like beginner level I was. I did it with the cheapest solder iron on Amazon, 20 bucks. Eventually, once I was successful, had Midnight Club up and running. And don't worry, I'm gonna tie this all back to the Wii thing, okay? And I remember I was trying so hard. I remember, no bullshit, my 360 red ringed, and also my disk drive was fried, because if you plug in your disk drive power cable from the power supply upside down, it starts shooting out smoke. And I didn't know that. None of these damn YouTubers thought it was a good idea to mention it, but like, okay, it started shooting out smoke, and I was like, oh damn. And then I remember I was trying to turn it on the next day after I had completely finished the JTAG, and it wasn't turning on, it red ringed. And I was just like, damn, dog, I put in like $100 into equipment for this. You know, at the time, I'm just like, I had like $50. I was getting $50 a month allowance, which is good money, you know, because I'm very fortunate to have that. But still, at the same time, I'm like, damn, dog, like I wasted so much money on this. So I went to sleep, woke up the next day, tried turning it on, and it was turning on, but it wasn't or showing anything on the screen. So I'm like, bruh. After very careful reverse engineering, I figured it was because the HDMI cord wasn't plugged in all the way to my monitor. So somehow the red ring fixed itself. Don't know how, but it did. And then after that, I remember it was my dad's birthday, and this was actually the last time I saw my Uncle Mike. To my Uncle Mike, you know, I miss you. But just before I had gone to eat dinner that day, you know, with my Uncle Mike and my dad, I remember I was playing Midnight Club Los Angeles, and I heard Big Dreams by The Game start playing. And that song has, I don't know how, but it has single-handedly became my favorite song of all time. If you guys haven't heard it, go check it out for sure. It's a great song. It's called Big Dreams by The Game. It's on the deluxe version of the album LAX Files. Very good song. And then I remember on my way to get dinner and on my way home, I was listening to that song, And I was just like I just felt so successful. I just felt like so accomplished. I'm like, damn, I didn't even think taking it apart and I didn't even think it would turn back on. Like after doing all that stuff to it, but it did. All that stuff, the Wii, the 3DS, the 360, it proved to me like, bro, if you work on something for long enough, like if you just keep applying yourself, you can do it. You know, like the Wii, think about it. The Wii and the Xbox 360 are prime examples, because what happened with the Wii? I couldn't get it to work. A year later, I came back to it, got it to work. The 360, couldn't get it to work. Year later, came back to it, did it. A lot of the times, and this is like low-key gonna turn into a lecture, but a lot of the times I just apply that to anything in life, you know, like whether it could be something as simple as my computer not turning on, or my computer not connecting to the Wi-Fi, or my printer not working. I know if I just put my mind to it for long enough, it's gonna work. And, you know, as I got older, because back then, you know, when we're talking about the Wii or talking about times I was in high school, I was never the confident type of kid. I was always the shy, super shy, timid one, never really talked, I never had like a girlfriend, never had any of that. I didn't have too many friends. And you know, like I did play football and swim, but even then, being in football and swim, even though they did help with my confidence, it's like I still wasn't as confident as I should have been. But you know, now getting out of high school, all that stuff has structured me and my mindset to be like, no, like as long as I put my mind to something, it's gonna happen. I mean, you can take this YouTube channel as a prime example of that. Look at how far we've come. You know, my YouTube channel started 2 months ago, and I've been able to amass 15,000 subscribers. Well, it's 14,000 and some change. And I've been doing YouTube since I've uploaded my first YouTube video in 2014 or 15. And ever since then, I've been wanting to do it again, you know, with my fashion channel, with my main channel, and now with this channel. And it's the same thing. I was applying myself for long enough, and that work ends up coming out in the results. And I believe you know, and I'm not even going to get religious or none of that, or, you know, on a very like spiritual level. But me personally, I do believe that there's some type, and I think even if you're an atheist, you could still agree with me, like there's some type of balance in the universe where it's like, if I want this thing, I show enough effort and dedication to it, it's gonna come back to me, you know? So of course, shout out to you guys that have liked and subscribed, you know, it's greatly appreciated. And another thing it led me to was console restorations, you know, taking something apart, cleaning it, making it brand new again. And that's another thing, that was another great lesson that taught me that, because, you know, we all go through our things, right? And I'm not going to get into specific details, but I've been going through a lot of stuff currently, in the past, you know, obviously with my mom and dad, and even before I started recording this video, after I started recording this video, as I'm recording this video, as I'm talking right now, there's a lot of things in my head that I struggle with. But how do you clean a console? How do you fix a console? A console is, you know, if the general public would think like, oh, okay, I get like a rag and I'll get like some all-purpose cleaner and just wipe it down, maybe get a toothpick, clean in between the cracks. No, the proper and correct way to clean a console very thoroughly is to take it apart with a screwdriver down to the motherboard, and you separate the electronics from the plastic parts. You take the plastic parts, you scrub them with water and soap, as you normally would with anything else, and you take the electronic parts and you scrub them with isopropyl alcohol. And that's how you really get in between the cracks, clean all the dust out from the console and make it brand new. That's also how you know what is and what isn't working inside of the console. And I say all that to say this. Some of you may not know where I'm going with this, but I'm going to make it clear. A lot of the times, it's the same thing with the person. If you want to properly clean yourself and find out what's broken, you need to look in yourself, and you really need to sit there and examine yourself, because the unfortunate truth at the end of the day is nobody can really help you that much, because they have their own lives to attend to. So you need to sit there with yourself. You need to take yourself apart, look into yourself, and figure out what's broken. You know, you need to separate these parts from these parts, and you need to clean them and fix them and put them back together and build yourself as a stronger person. Now, I don't care if you're male or female, you know, that goes for males and females. That goes for any religion out there. And you know me, I have my own beliefs, but I'm not going to be biased here. I don't care if you're gay, straight, or whatever you are. That goes for anybody. I don't know anybody who could disagree with that. I know maybe some people might say that I'm ridiculous for saying that this all came from jailbreaking my Wii, but that's what it snowballed into. And so jailbreaking my Wii ultimately snowballed into, you know, the 360, and it taught me, not only did it make me a very handy person, because now I know how to solder and take things apart, which is a very, very handy skill, but it taught me those life lessons without even saying words. It's not like the Xbox talked to me. I just sat there and thought about it, and I'm like, damn, you got to put two and two together sometimes, man. Not everybody's going to be there to hand feed it to you, you know? It really just ultimately ended up changing my life. With that being said, I'm going to end this video. This video is not going to be a very long video. My Discord is out. I am taking orders on there in the meantime before the website is up. The Discord is not public. It's a private one. If you want a link, you have to DM me on Instagram at BigShirt626. Other than that, I want you guys to stay motivated, stay dedicated, and I appreciate you guys greatly. You know, like I said, when back in the video when I said, you know, oh, look at me, I got 15,000 subscribers in 2 months. I wasn't saying that to brag. I was just saying that because I feel so like accomplished once again, you know, and I appreciate you guys greatly. Everybody who subscribes shows love and support and appreciation. You guys really help me a lot, like I said, in whatever I'm going through. And but yeah, you guys seem to have really liked the last video where I was saying like a bunch of stories, so here is another one. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'm gonna go now. I'm gonna film another video right after this. God bless you all. Have a good day, good night, wherever you are. Peace out.